Jump to the splash screen here. I figure we can give a little narrative overview before we dive in. You want to take it away, Pearly?
Sure. Yeah, so we're going to show you the actual PAX build that was on the show floor. This is a sample of one of our levels, and the gist here is the narrative setup is that Poe is a dream exorcist, so she kind of dives into people's minds, and each level setup is a different dream.
You play as Poe.
You play as Poe.
Goes without saying,
yeah.
but I wanted to say it.
And she's got these little ghost familiars with her, and these are going to allow her to utilize idols in the game. And I'll explain, what the idol system is when Dan starts playing. But yeah, basically, evil spirits in people's dreams.
So basically, like, in her day-to-day job, she's almost like a therapist. You would go to her and be like, hey, Poe, nice to meet you. I have some terrifying nightmares. Please help me. She would go, okay, bloop, and she'd dive into your nightmares, clean out the gunk and the grime, and then you have good dreams. That would be her day-to-day. If we're, like, doing a movie, and that's, like, the first 15 minutes. She does that. She goes home.
Good setup.
Yep. We get a little glimpse into her home life. But then she wakes up one day, end of Act 1, and the entire city's asleep and they can't wake up. That's why the game is called what it is. And as you might notice, she is specially equipped to deal with that. So she is going to go into these people's dreams. As Pearly said, each level is a different individual or individual's dreams.
Brings her sword with her.
Yep, which you can see her holding here a little bit of. And she gets to the bottom of what's going on. Wake up that city.
Yep, wake it up.
That's what we should have called the game.
Wake up that city.
Wake up that city. You gotta wake up that city. You gotta cut the rope.
Maybe that'll be the subtitle.
We'll make a T-shirt. We'll put that on Spreadshirt.
Awesome.
So Dan is gonna drive while Pearly and I.
Yeah,
ooh,
so
that's loud.
I'm not going to ruin the experience if I talk over this. They're going to hear the music pretty well. What's the setup?
We should explain everything we can up front.
Okay.
Just so they get a sense for what Dan is doing as they see what's going on. And then let him play without us interrupting so they can hear how awesome it sounds.
So let me give a quick summary then. So basically, as we mentioned, the bullet patterns, the enemy spawns, player rate of fire are all driven by MIDI. So, they're all going to have a track associated with it. And so the idol system I mentioned, this is like our version of a power-up system. So basically, there's a unique audio track associated with each idol's appearance within the level. So basically, different setups are going to appear as you're going through. And the ghost familiars that you bring into the game are going to allow you to activate different abilities on the idols. So we have fast idol types and slow idols. Slow idols are noted by the square socket and fast ones by the triangle socket. So basically it's 2 abilities per ghost.
So you'll be able to see, like, Dan as he plays can slow down time to make those tactical choices. So if you are, these games, shmups tend to be really hardcore games. And the difficulty is definitely present in this game. If you tend to be an Aaron Trites type, you just want to be there, be along for the ride,
just have
experience
fun.
the game. Easy will still give you a challenge, but you're welcome to use the slowdown mechanic to sort of like plan out your next move. The tactical layer really adds something that these games I don't see in other games. I don't see this feature in other games. So hopefully, folks who are interested in shmups, we'll see that as an interesting new.
It's a cool spin. Yeah. So when you see Dan slow down time, there's going to be this, we call it the ghost carousel, where you're going to see a little icon of each ghost appear, and that's him just toggling through and choosing which he wants to select. So basically, these ghosts are like possessing these inanimate objects, and they become assist objects.
So in this demo, you have 3 ghosts. You can see them on the screen now. And because they're the 2 idols, you have they have 2 different functions basically.
So let me just describe generally like the 3 ghosts. The blue guy is anger, and so he's mostly offensive. He's kind of like a set it and forget it ghost. So you can put him into the fast idol and you'll get a machine gun, or you put him in the slow idol and you're gonna get an AoE burst. The green one is Mercy, and she's basically a healer. So if you put her into the fast you're going to get healing pellets that kind of fly all over the screen.
Yep.
So you can heal yourself from a distance. And if you put her into a slow idol, she's going to get a healing AoE burst. And then the trickier ghost to use, we call him the Master Ghost.
That's orange.
Yeah, he's the orange dude. And he's all about player positioning. So he has a railgun that's based on your position from the activated idol. And then he has a tripwire on the fast socket. And basically what you want to do is put enemies in between yourself and the idol, and you kind of clothesline them.
Sweet. All of that preamble done.
Yeah.
Let's see the game.
All right.
I have a feeling this is going to be real loud. You can see that melee attack that actually happens automatically. The melee happens automatically as the enemies get within a certain range of you. Yeah, do a little talk.
So you'll see like all the bullets that are coming out of like those girls that are flying through the air firing, like all those are drums, so like tied to the music, like we said. That big bass hit is the AoE.
Anger, mercy.
So you can see Poe's sword is glowing red right now, and you heard that gong sound. You do enough melee damage, you collect those little bits. Those little red bits.
Murder bits.
Murder bits, which I think is an awesome name. You collect enough of those and you get this giant sword you can swing around the screen. It's basically like a bomb mechanic. It does a lot of damage.
So here's a special type of enemy with its own special type of track. And there's some sweet bullet helliness.
So yeah, this is on normal difficulty. Just keep in mind. So Dan just deployed the anger ghost because it's in the area near the lotuses, so it'll do damage to them every time it pulses. And he used his ghost sword bomb mechanic to clear those bad guys out.
Nope, ran out.
Arthur, I had this stuck in my head all during PAX.
Oh, sorry.
In my head, like every day.
So what's the story with this guy? What was that, Pearly? There's a little dude floating around.
Yeah, spoilers.
Just give a real high level.
He's one of the NPCs, so he's just like, he represents the person whose dream you're in. The professor, yeah.
Play as well as you want to. Don't let Poe tell you how to live your
Dan is
life.
good at the game. That boss would have taken you a lot longer to beat.
Master really
So people took to it pretty well at PAX, but we saw, how many, 4 or 5 people that made it all the way through the demo?
Yeah, only about 5 people actually made it all the way through the demo.
Oh, yeah.
Mercy.
So yeah, Dan's health is low, so he's gonna... There we go!
Oh, no.
I feel like he had that coming for showing off with that boss.
Yeah, checkpoint.
Yeah, so...
We're gonna wipe your score though. When score's in. Yeah, this is an old build. We have score in right now, and we're working on that.
Very much worth pointing out. This is like multipliers and all sorts of stuff like that.
Use the Mercy idol. Your score gets debuffed 20%.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh no!
You get a penalty for cheating your way through.
All right, another Lotus.
Mercy.
Yeah, so about 5. So this is not the type of game you should expect to just pick up and power through in one life. Like learning these patterns, learning the dynamics of the different ghosts and idols is real important. So So yeah, all the people we showed it to, about 5 people made it through on normal or easy. Nobody did it on Nightmare, which was nice to see. I think Pearly should show a little bit of Nightmare once we...
I can't do Nightmare.
I can't do Nightmare either.
I gotta practice.
Do you want to call out when Poe is actually getting hit too, since it may not be clear to
So
people
yeah, that's
where
worth pointing out. So the circle in Poe's chest, that is her hitbox. So that's where she takes damage. You don't need to like maneuver your entire body through these bullet patterns. You just need to maneuver that orb. This is one of our bosses. You see as you're doing damage to this boss, little plates fall off of the heart.
Master.
Gotta get it lined up.
Anger.
Christine, can the people in the chat hear the music well? Is it all good? Awesome. Want to make sure they get the full experience. So the differences in difficulties, Pearly, what will you see? Like if I were playing on easy right now, what would be the difference?
Pattern difficulty, enemy quantity, enemy type, and the spawns are mixed up a bit. You'll see harder enemies earlier in Nightmare. So we still have a bit of tuning to do.
Oh, you lucked out. Yeah, we should say this is definitely still like we're still developing.
Still
like
early.
game comes out October 16th, and the team is still definitely building the game right now.
Give me some of that sweet health.
So yeah, keep those 2 in there right now. Just want to point out what Pearly was saying before we were in the game. So it's these 2 types of idols. So Mercy is deployed in both of them. The slow one, you see that pulsing bubble almost area of effect. So you only get healed when you're in that bubble. But in the fast one, it spits out these little pellets that you have to run down to get healed.
Yep.
So yeah, so every ghost is going to have those two different outputs depending on the idol.
And as you play the song more and memorize the different pieces of the music, it really does assist you in using the idols, like especially with the slow idols, like on downbeats, or they tend to be more sparse. What happens is like when you memorize those, you'll do a loop around the playfield and loop back to the slow idol just in time for that to go off. So whether you're like pulling mobs towards an a damage AoE, or you're trying to loop back to get healed. Definitely repeated play and memorizing the music can help like elevate the game.
Should we restart here or let me see?
Yeah, sure.
We're gonna save the finale.
Tantalizer.
Save the finale.
Save the finale. I like it. I like.
Jeez.